How do you build a haunted residential business in The Sims 4? Well, sit back and let me show you. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. You're watching Just a Mom That Sims. I'm KT, and I'm here today for another Sims 4 Businesses and Hobbies Speed Build. I have been building businesses so that you don't have to. So if you like to have fun and you like a good story, please consider liking, subscribing, following, commenting. Just do all the things. Let me give my normal disclaimer. I do not edit my voiceovers when I do speed builds or cast creations, so please forgive my ahs, and my slow United States Southern drawl. So what I'm doing here is, again, continuing my building businesses series, and while I was live the other night, I had the idea to build a haunted residential business thanks to one of my subscribers. So yes, you can have a haunted house residential lot, and that's the first thing you need to set when you're building this. And after you do that, once you get your build completed and you put a sim in charge of the business by registering the small business on the telephone, then you can add that business as the haunted house residential small business. It will show up on its own once you register the business actually. So on the left hand side of the screen is going to be where the Sims live. It's going to be 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, the equivalent of a very tiny house, like a micro home. The middle section is going to have the seance tables and the bathrooms. That's what those 3 walls are right there. And then the right hand side is going to have some pumpkin carving stations, some chairs. We'll get a refrigerator and stuff out here too, because I'm definitely going to section off the left side so that the customers cannot come in. You'll see that I have offset the 3 sections, but I'm doing extended roof because, and I'm trying to say extended roof, because I'm going to put like maybe some rocking chairs. I may even set a bar under that area so it doesn't get struck by lightning all the time. And then I think I'm going to add just a little piece on the home side, on the left hand side, to the front of that build as well. So this will not be a symmetrical build when we finish, even though it's kind of starting off that way. So the next thing I'm going to do, I have 3 filters: life and death, paranormal stuff pack, and the spooky day stuff pack. Now I did find in this instance, I think I ended up using like 4 items from the base game, and also I had to go over to the Mount Comarebi pack that never comes in my mind at first, Snowy Escape, to get the tiny shower, the one that doesn't have walls. They do have that shower in that pack. Businesses and Hobbies has one, Love Struck has one. I don't know about Businesses and Hobbies, but also the sleek bathroom kit. There's about 3 or 4 kits that have one. So anyway, I just picked that one. So you can see that I'm heavily using life and death, but I am leaning on those 3 packs. And I was really proud of myself because at the end, I feel like 98% of the bill comes from those 3 packs. So if you have life and death, spooky day, and paranormal, you'll be good to go. Now, I also put some columns up to offset, where the roof is going to be hanging. You got to balance out that bill with columns. And then I am using the life and death wallpaper in the main area especially, but I do think all of these come from life and death as well. Now this did leave me limited, so I eventually did go to the base game for the bathrooms, but you do have some nice swatches for wallpapers that comes with this pack, but also you have some limits too. There's no tile between all 3 packs. Now let me talk about what I've been doing. So when you see me building these service-based businesses, or the businesses where Sims can just come and like do things on their own, these are businesses that my personal Sims are not running. What I do is put random townies, and usually I go to our unhoused population and I grab some random Sims, throw them in there, and then I pick either a young adult or a teen, put them in charge of the business. If I need to cheat one of their skills, like when it's the businesses where you can actually go and learn things at, but this one doesn't have a lecture board though, then I'll cheat the skill so that the sim will be knowledgeable enough to teach the class. From there, I go and play my Sims and have them visit these businesses solo dolo or as a family to have more things to do in my game. The Sims 4 Businesses and Hobbies pack has changed my gameplay. And I mean, I probably didn't feel like that since the Grow Together and Love Struck packs. Now, there were packs in between that I like, but businesses and hobbies has turned into a thing with unlimited resources for me and my Sims. Now, I am putting this bed from Life and Death, and you can see me planning rugs. And you see, I got a tiny bedroom next door because I got a master bed and then this little twin bed, and I can fit a nightstand in here too. So it is a full room. You will not have a lot of room to do much else in this micro home side. However, I am going to extend this front out by 2 tiles. So it's really like a 2x4 tile situation. And you can see me just copying and pasting the wallpapers, flooring, and all of those things, trying to figure out what the heck to do with the windows now that I've had to move them. Now comes the hard part, trying to remember what the heck shingle I put on the roof, because you cannot copy and paste those, or the little edges on the roof. Anyway, let's get back to what I was talking about. So my gallery ID is at Just a Mom That Sims. I built several businesses. So right now I'm moving these counters and stove and refrigerator back from the Life and Death pack. I'm going to put this little bitty sink in here. I really like this sink, and it actually looks good as a kitchen sink. So sometimes I will use those sinks instead of putting one on the counter in my kitchens. For this tiny kitchen, it works really well, I think. Now, this is going to be a business where you can come in, you can get your medium skill up, not because you can do the class, but because you can just come practice at the seance table. And I made the house haunted so that in addition to that, you will have plenty of ghosts that you can practice exercising from the house. Now, one thing I didn't do before the upload, but I will mention it here, and I'll try to remember to put it in the details section. You should also turn on the hollow lot trait, the hollow grounds lot trait. It will help you have fissures in the ground that your Sims can visit and reach in to see what's in there. Also, it will make a chill come over the house and just an all around spooky feeling. Now, let me also say I put in the details of every one of these businesses and hobbies builds, the presets that you could use to make them work. Now, of course, this isn't a science, so you could always change those presets to suit you better. But for this one, I definitely have practicing seances. I also did all the ghost mastery ones, so you can have ghosts that actually visit too. They can practice good ghost mastery and evil ghost mastery as well. Then I had where you could scare people, but I ended up changing that out. So yeah, there are a lot of things that you could do with the settings. However, I have to mention, y'all, that the one setting that I could not find in my game was one to do the pumpkin carving. But I have set my mind on putting pumpkin carving stations, so I'm just going to assume that my Sims will voluntarily go do it, but there is not a preset that I can find in the Businesses and Hobbies pack for that. So I just kind of went around with the other spooky things that you could do in this kind of build. So it's been a fun build. I've enjoyed this series. And so briefly, I want to talk a little bit about some of the other builds I've done. I have done a beach fun business. I have also done a kids play center. That one was residential. I've done a toddler play center. That one was residential as well. So you can see kind of a pattern. I'll do some builds that are small business venues and some builds that are residential businesses. And it wasn't until I was doing one of these other builds that I realized, wow, you can make the haunted houses a residential business, and I hadn't done it before, so this is what I've wanted to do now. I've also built the gardening business, an apothecary and juicing business where you could do lessons at that. I have done a handiness business that heavily uses the restoration kit. So yeah, I can't even think of all the businesses, but they are all on the gallery upload. I actually called this one Haunted House Business. So check it out. Now, over here, I really like the color schemes in the inside. The outside looks pretty good to me. It looks worn and run down. And for the outside, I did use Life and Death, but at the top, that is from the Spooky Day pack, that worn looking wood paneling. Now, these are the pumpkin carving stations. I feel like I can fit four, but you see, I got them at really weird angles because at some point I realized, KT girl, you need chairs because the Sims need to sit down so they don't get into fights or fires. But I've been using my thinker, guys. I have stopped putting stoves in these bills, honey. They'll have a microwave, and I'm just going to say a little sim prayer that they don't set that on fire. I am putting a casket in here because let's talk about the elephant or the casket in the room. That is because you can sleep in a casket. It actually gets your energy up really well. So I put that here. So instead of the Sims coming in and passing out in my business, I really hope that they just get in the casket and take a little nap. And they get a cute little buff from it sometimes. Also, I do have one shower and two toilets in the main bathroom. And that's because the Sims also like to come and pee themselves in my establishment. So this way, hopefully they use the toilet, but if not, they can wash their booties. And that is how you build in the Sims. No, I started to put this build on a platform, guys, and then I just decided not to, but I don't know. I probably could have. I like building on platforms sometimes, but if it's a big build, it can sometimes be more troublesome than it's worth. More troublesome than it's worth. Now, that is me saying, like, sometimes the platforms can be a little glitchy. But anyway, let's do our walkthrough. And y'all know I love a cinematic pan around, honey. So let's zoom down and see what our build looks like. I think it has nice character. I really do. It's given, I don't know, you might get got coming in here. It's given Scream 7. It's given horror movie, okay? So when you come in, this is the main area. That's our famous microwave, and I did put a little dining table with Life and Death chairs. And then if you pan over, you can see our beautiful casket. It is nice, right? You come through the open archway, and I did put a super wide archway there, and you can see our pumpkin carving or sit and chill and chat section. And you know the Sim's gonna be sitting at this seance table, not doing seances sometimes. Now you have to come outside and go around the corner of the house to enter the actual living quarters. Now you see you got the couch right here, and that is dangerous because we got a stove right there. This is our tiny bathroom, but it is fully functional at 4 towels. I can do the same with 3.5 towels. This is the master bedroom. I love those tarot card paintings because you can switch them. Now that painting also came from Life and Death. This is our secondary bedroom, guys, and you can see another version of the tarot cards there. So as we come out, y'all, I hope that you enjoyed this build. Let me know what you think if you download it and you play it, and let me know what you think in general. And until next time, remember, keep simming, be happy, and always have a blessed day. Bye bye.